Welcome to IE News and to our viewers on IETV.com. I'm Micah Dume. Thanks for joining us. In the headlines, a stepfather allegedly confesses in disappearance and murder of 2-year-old Angelo Plaza. Government proposes new parole system focused on rehabilitation and reducing repeat offending. A body of Las Lomas man found after distress call reporting brutal attack. In our top story, the investigation into the disappearance of 2-year-old Angelo Plaza has taken a heartbreaking turn after the child's stepfather, Shannon Miller, reportedly confessed to police in connection with the toddler's murder. Miller is expected to accompany officers on Wednesday to a location in Tobago where investigators believe the child's body may have been discarded. The development follows days of intense searches across several areas of Tobago, including Pig Farm Road, the Mount St. George Dump, and Dam Road, as police, emergency responders, and volunteer search teams searched for the missing child. Investigators had earlier concentrated major search operations around Pig Farm Road, where Miller reportedly owns a cassava field. Members of the Hunters Search and Rescue Team, led by Captain Valence Rambarat, were also involved in difficult searches across heavily forested areas and precipices while acting on multiple public tips. Police sources said investigators from several specialized units, including the Homicide Bureau of Investigation, Special Victims Department, Tobago Gang Unit, K9 Unit, and Criminal Records Office, worked around the clock on the case with assistance from the Tobago Emergency Management Agency and Hunters Search and Rescue. The disappearance of Angelo Plaza gripped the nation as the search entered its 9th day with no sign of the toddler. Police are expected to continue extensive searches as investigators attempt to recover the child's body and determine the full circumstances surrounding his death. A new parole system aimed at rehabilitating prisoners and reducing repeat offending is being proposed under the Parole Bill 2026. Here's more. The legislation seeks to allow for the supervised early release of prisoners during their incarceration while promoting rehabilitation and reintegration into society. Speaking in the Senate on Tuesday, the Vish Maharaj said the bill represents a major shift toward a more rehabilitative justice system focused on preparing inmates to return to society as productive citizens. Minister Maharaj noted that statistics show many former inmates often return to criminal activity after being released from prison. He explained that the proposed framework would place greater emphasis on structured rehabilitation programs aimed at reducing recidivism and improving reintegration outcomes. The minister also pointed out that while some rehabilitation initiatives already exist within the prison system, many are currently supported mainly by faith-based and non-governmental organizations with limited direct stake management and funding. Meanwhile, Philip Alexander described the legislation as timely and long overdue, saying the bill is designed to transform lives through supervised rehabilitation and personal responsibility rather than simply releasing offenders back into society.
So more than half of our young persons in Trinidad and Tobago enter the prison service recycling, and they're coming out doing more crimes, heading back in. A rehabilitative framework provided within this bill assures the public that persons released from incarceration are less likely to be further entrenched in criminality during their sentence and are more likely to reintegrate as law-abiding and productive members of society after having gone through some sort of rehabilitative exercise.
This is not about releasing prisoners. This is managing offenders through transformation of lives by creating a system of supervised personal responsibility. That one thing is critical to the redevelopment of a strata of society with nowhere to go. This gives persons whose lives have run off the rails a way back to full contributing member of society.
The body of a 35-year-old Las Lomas man who made a distress call to the police command center claiming he had been chopped and trapped in a bushy area, has been discovered, bringing a tragic end to an intense search by relatives and police. The victim, Adrian Peter Duff of Las Lomas No. 3, according to relatives, Duff contacted the police command center on Monday evening and reported that he had been brutally attacked while inside a cocoa field along Esperanza Trace. During the call, he reportedly provided officers with the contact number for a friend before communication was suddenly lost. Family members and residents immediately launched searches across several areas of Las Lomas, continuing throughout Monday night and into Tuesday. On Tuesday, relatives reportedly discovered Duff's burnt bicycle near a recently extinguished bushfire along Esperanza Road. Police later processed the scene and seized the bicycle as evidence. Searchers also found bloodstains, pieces of wood, and a length of rope near a riverbank in the area as investigators expanded the operation with assistance from officers attached to the San Rafael police station. The grim discovery was eventually made on Wednesday when relatives found Duff's body hidden in bushes bearing multiple chop wounds. Police investigations into the killing are continuing. We pause for a moment. More news when we come back.
Perfection doesn't happen by chance. Like an artist, the cook selects the main ingredient, one that is worthy of a proud cultural tradition. Trusted to enhance your creations with its richness and versatility. To create a cooking masterpiece, the secret is simple. The brand we know, the brand we trust, the brand our ancestors have been using for generations.
There is only one pure cow brand ghee. Look for the marks of authenticity.
Tile Expressions Limited, as one of the largest importers of tiles, offers an extensive range of high-quality tiles in ceramic, porcelain, granite, stone, and mosaic options. Additionally, we offer a variety of tile accessories and bathroom sets to complement any decor style. We are committed to providing exceptional customer service and swift delivery of all products. From indoor and outdoor tiles to bathroom sets and tile accessories, we have curated a range that caters to both traditional and modern taste. Lampus 13, Ajudha Road, Munro Road, Canopio. Call 223-8453.
Welcome back. Trade volume between China and the 15 CARICOM countries reached US $9.63 billion in 2025, representing a year-on-year increase of nearly 50%. Here's more. The figures were revealed by Yang Han while speaking at an academic symposium on China-Caribbean cooperation on Tuesday. Yang highlighted the strengthening relationship between China and CARICOM nations, reaffirming China's commitment to continued partnership and development within the region. He also referenced China's recent assistance of the 100 million won to Trinidad and Tobago for the construction of a new forensic science center, saying the facility is expected to help address crime through modern technology and infrastructure. The deputy head of mission pointed to several major projects completed under China's Belt and Road Initiative, including the Phoenix Park Industrial Estate, the Demerara Harbor Bridge, and the North-South Highway.
The two sides are set to launch construction of the new forensic science center in Trinidad and Tobago. I'm confident that it will become a modern, high-tech facility helping Trinidad and Tobago better address the critical challenge of crime. A host of key cooperation projects, including the Phoenix Park Industrial Estate in Trinidad and Tobago, the Demerara Harbor Bridge in Guyana, and the North-South Highway in Jamaica, have been completed, effectively boosting local economic growth and improving people's livelihoods.
Relatives of a 35-year-old man shot and killed by police during an alleged home invasion in Chaguanas are disputing claims that he was armed. The deceased has been identified as Abdullah Joseph, according to police officers attached to the Central Division Task Force and Canopia Police Station, responded to reports around 4:30 a.m. of a man seen on the premises of a home whose occupants were out of the country. Police said officers arrived at the property and heard crashing sounds coming from inside the building. Investigators claimed that upon entering, they were confronted by a man armed with a firearm who engaged officers. A TTPS statement said officers, fearing for their lives and acting in accordance with the use of force policy, discharged their service weapons, injuring the suspect. Joseph was taken to the Chaguanas Health Facility, where he later died. Police Commissioner Alistair Gavaru defended the officers' actions, warning criminals involved in violent home invasions that the TTPS would respond decisively to protect communities. He described home invasions as calculated acts of violence intended to terrorize law-abiding citizens. However, relatives speaking at Joseph's Peterfield's home challenged the police account, insisting he was not armed at the time of the shooting. Investigations into the fatal shooting are ongoing. In commemoration of the 75th anniversary of Chinmaya Mission Global and ahead of the 181st anniversary of the arrival of East Indian indentured laborers, government has leased approximately 12 acres of state land in Calcutta, number 1 to Chinmaya Mission Trinidad and Tobago. Speaking at the official lease handover ceremony on Tuesday, Minister Saddam Hussein said the cabinet decision represents an investment in national development through education. He revealed that cabinet approved the lease arrangement at a rate of $1 per year and noted that the additional land would support the institution's future expansion plans. He also praised the school's academic performance, highlighting what the institution, which began in 2003 with just 3 students, now graduates more than 400 students with a reported 100% pass rate. Meanwhile, Pooja Swami G thanked government for facilitating the lease agreement, describing it as an important step in the institution's continued growth and development.
I asked Swamiji, what next? He said that they are going to expand this particular piece of land, because what we are on is just a piece of it. The government, through the cabinet, has agreed to give the Chinmaya Mission 12 acres of land right here. 12 acres. And it will be at an institutional lease of $1 per annum. In 2003, I don't know if anyone would have believed, Swamiji, that you would have been sitting here in this prestigious modern institution. You had 3 students here in 2003, I'm told. 3 students. Today, over 400 students graduate from the Chinmaya Mission with 100% pass rate. 100% pass rate. That is absolutely commendable.
Trinidad and Tobago is a leader in that sense because prior to this school coming here, we did not have any other school outside India. So it is the first time, and I am proud to say that that initiative was led by Trinidad and Tobago to take this type of education outside India and bring it to the world.
Mayor Baliram Maharaj is calling for stronger cultural and economic ties between Trinidad and Tobago and the Indian state of Uttar Pradesh, highlighting the deep ancestral connection shared by many Indo-Trinidadians. Speaking during an address at the Indian High Commission in Trinidad and Tobago earlier this year, Mayor Maharaj reflected on the historical journey of Indian indentured laborers, noting that the majority originated from what is now Uttar Pradesh. He described the connection as more than historical, saying the region's influence continues to shape Trinidad and Tobago's cultural and agricultural identity through language, religion, food, and farming traditions brought by Indian ancestors. Mayor Maharaj also shared personal stories tracing his own family roots to the Ayodhya Faizabad district, while highlighting the success of Indo-Caribbean families whose contributions extended back to India through education and philanthropy. He pointed to opportunities for future cooperation between Trinidad and Tobago and Uttar Pradesh in areas including energy, agriculture, pharmaceuticals, education, information technology, and food security. The Rima Mayor also stressed that the Indian diaspora should be viewed not simply as a link to the past, but as a bridge for future economic and cultural collaboration between both nations.
We have similarities. Yeah, I also visited there in 2010 and I found my family. I found a home. I found my wife, family, and also discovered that we knew that in 1948 or so, he went and built a school in India. We found the school, and we found markings of the address, Cezanne Street, Arima, Trinidad. And since then, my wife, who passed away since, had been contributing every year to the school for the first 5 brightest children in the school. There was some renovation done during then and now. But at the best of all knowledge, recently I think the government took it over. 70 years ago to now, at 55, about $600-700 pupils would have given us about 50,000 children who could be doctors and lawyers. Now, the most important thing is what I could tell you for Trinidad and Tobago, where we buy most of our food. Rice is gone down to 2%, if so much. Sugar is dead. Wheat we cannot produce. Potato, onion, garlic, I think we are not capable of doing that. We're capable, but not as we call it. Easier to buy from Holland and plantain. So I would love to see one day that Trinidad and Tobago have a bilateral agreement with the two countries where they could come and invest in that refinery. If I were the government, and I say it slowly, I would have probably put a bargain with them that they could take over that, inject money, and prepare ourselves for 2-3 years to make a lot of US dollars back.
You're watching IE News. We'll return after these messages.
Attention all bakers, doubles vendors and roti makers. Try our high-quality bromate-free, all-purpose and whole wheat flour. Low price and conveniently packaged in 2 pounds, 2 kg, 10 kg and 25 kg bags. For wholesale and retail prices, contact Shiklisho Limited at 665-3336 or 480-8715 or visit us at Warrenville, Canoopia. Shiklisho Limited, quality you can trust.
Are you renewing your motor, homeowner or business insurances shortly? Then call Kalyani Limited, agency for Tatil, for a competitive quote. With 2 locations, Todd Street, El Socorro and 5 Rivers, Aruca, please call us at 221-5051 or 227-5051. Kalyani Limited, agency for Tatil, building relationships exceeding expectations.
Welcome back. Finance Minister Devendranath Thankoo has welcomed the successful conclusion of the International Monetary Fund's 2026 Article 4 consultation on Trinidad and Tobago, describing it as a sign of renewed international confidence in the country's economic direction just over 1 year after the current administration took office. According to Minister Thankoo, the IMF report highlighted low inflation, stable international reserves and a strong banking sector, while projecting continued economic growth through 2026, driven by energy projects and expansion within the non-energy sector. The finance minister said the findings reflect government's efforts to stabilize the economy following years of declining reserves, rising debt, and wider economic challenges. Minister Thankoo added that the government remains focused on maintaining fiscal discipline, encouraging investment growth, and rebuilding public confidence in the national economy. The consultation forms part of the International Monetary Fund's regular assessment of member countries' economic performance and policy direction. Let's now take a look at some international news.
Tonight, that American doctor, a father of 4 who was infected with the Ebola virus while working in the Democratic Republic of the Congo, now on his way to Germany for medical care.
Everybody in the ambulance was wearing what they call full PPE, the personal protective equipment, the suits, the boots, the goggles, the gloves. There's not 1 centimeter of exposed skin.
The Christian Missions Organization Surge says Dr. Peter Stafford was transported onto the plane in a protective bubble.
We saw pictures of him in a plastic bubble about the size of a casket that I think is ventilated for him.
The doctor's family and another doctor also possibly exposed but showing no symptoms. Symptoms of the Ebola virus can start with fever, muscle weakness, and headaches, then progress to internal bleeding and possible death. Tonight, the number of suspected deaths in Central Africa tied to Ebola rising to at least 130 people. Suspected cases skyrocketing to more than 500.
Tonight, authorities have revealed the 2 shooters were wearing body armor and camouflage, armed with shotguns, rifles, and handguns when they stormed the Islamic Center of San Diego, shooting and killing 3 people, including a hero security guard. And they live-streamed the attack using what appear to be helmet cameras. That security guard, now identified as Amin Abdullah, a father of 8, seen smiling in this recent video, spotted the suspects and opened fire. And authorities are convinced he helped save lives.
You can see the security guard reach for his radio and put out the lockdown protocol. The security guard then continued to engage in a gun battle with these 2 suspects.
The shooters made it inside the front entrance of a building just feet away from school children.
I went inside the closet with my whole class. We heard like 12 or like 16 gunshots.
Police say the suspects went room by room and found no one. They headed back outside to the parking lot to confront and kill Mansour Kazeha, who ran a shop in the mosque for 40 years, and Nader Awad, whose wife taught at the school, and he was the first to call 911. Police believe the suspects heard the sound of rapidly approaching sirens and fled the scene. This new video from blocks away shows the suspects then opening fire at a landscaper who wasn't injured. Both shooters then later found dead of self-inflicted gunshot wounds. Tonight, sources say the suspects are 17-year-old Kane Clark, a high school wrestler, and 18-year-old Caleb Vasquez. The FBI says they met and were radicalized online and shared a broad hatred of different races and religions. The live stream appears to show them wearing neo-Nazi symbols.
I can confirm there has been a manifesto that's been recovered. They didn't discriminate on who they hated.
Police say the 17-year-old suspect's mother had called police 2 hours before the shooting, fearing he was suicidal, saying her weapons and vehicle were missing, setting off a manhunt before the attack. And tonight, the daughter of that hero security guard who was killed, speaking out.
My father, my dad. He was a loving father, husband, son, brother, and uncle. To me, my dad was a role model. He was a best friend. He was the best, absolute best dad in the world.
When we return, your weather update and more, stay tuned.
Introducing Signature Marine Coatings. We bring you premium marine solutions powered by PPG coatings, including anti-fouling protection, high-grade epoxy systems, fiberglass materials, and complete marine refinishing supplies. Protect, enhance, and maximize the performance of your vessel with products you can trust. Get the finish your vessel deserves. We are located at Tardy Marine Limited in Chagaramas. Call us today at 2900-654 or email at signaturepaints@hotmail.com.
Let's do India and Nepal, a soulful journey across timeless destinations. Delhi, Kathmandu, Varanasi, Ayodhya, Haridwar, Rishikesh, Agra, and Jaipur. August 12th to 28th. Presented by Pandit Omarat. Call 681-3476 to book now. Not just a trip, it's a spiritual and cultural experience.
Welcome back to IE's Major News. Let's take a look at today's weather forecast. Today was generally partly cloudy to cloudy across Trinidad and Tobago, with warm, humid and breezy conditions prevailing throughout the day. There were periods of increased cloudiness during the morning and afternoon, which produced isolated to scattered showers, particularly across eastern and southern districts, while some areas experienced longer sunny intervals. Daytime temperatures reached around 32 degrees in Trinidad and near 31 in Tobago. Winds were moderate from the east-northeast at 15 to 30 kilometers per hour, with occasional gusts near showers. Sea conditions were moderate, occasionally becoming rough in offshore areas. Waves reached between 2.0 and 2.5 meters in open waters and around 1.0 to 1.5 meters in sheltered areas. Sea levels remained within normal limits. Tonight is expected to be partly cloudy to mostly cloudy with a few isolated showers developing after midnight, mainly across eastern and northern areas. Conditions will remain warm, humid and breezy, with overnight temperatures settling around 24 to 25 degrees Celsius. Winds will remain light to moderate from the east, while seas continue moderate, occasionally choppy offshore. Waves are expected to remain between 2.0 and 2.5 meters in open waters and near 1.0 meter in sheltered areas. Sea levels are expected to remain normal. For Thursday, expect partly cloudy to occasionally cloudy skies, with isolated showers likely during the morning and afternoon, especially across central and southern Trinidad, while Tobago should remain mostly fair. Temperatures are forecast to reach around 31 to 32 degrees in Trinidad and near 31 in Tobago, with humid conditions continuing. Winds will be east to east-northeasterly at 15 to 25 kilometers per hour, while seas remain moderate, with waves between 2.0 and 2.5 meters in open waters and around 1 meter in sheltered areas. Sea levels will remain within the normal range. Let's take a look at some crime news. One minor was arrested and a firearm and quantity of ammunition seized during an Operation Steady Guard exercise conducted in the Eastern Division. Officers of the Valencia Police District carried out the exercise between 8 a.m. and 10 a.m. on Saturday, 16th May, during which they arrested one male juvenile of the area who was found in possession of one pistol and 10 rounds of ammunition. Investigations are ongoing. On Sunday, 17th May, the Customs and Excise Division successfully intercepted a passenger attempted to smuggle marijuana into Trinidad and Tobago through the Piaco International Airport, during which passenger clearance operations customs officers at the airport referred a 22-year-old British national to the red line for further examination of their luggage. During the examination, officers discovered a quantity of plant-like material concealed with the passenger's baggage. Officers attached to the preventive branch were subsequently contacted and responded to the scene, where field testing confirmed the substance to be marijuana. The estimated street value of the seizure is over 5 million TT dollars. The Customs and Excise Division remains engaged with partner agencies with the National Security Network as the investigation progresses. The matter is being pursued under the Customs Act Chapter 7801, and charges are expected to follow relating to the importation of prohibited goods. The interception highlights the continued vigilance and proactive enforcement of the Customs and Excise Division in safeguarding the borders of Trinidad and Tobago. 21 persons were arrested and quantities of cash and alcohol were seized during an anti-crime exercise in the Dabadi district. The joint intelligence-led operation was conducted between 1 a.m. and 5 a.m. on Sunday, 17th May, by officers of the Interagency Task Force and the Maloney Police Station. During the exercise, officers proceeded to a business place in the Dabadi district where a search was conducted. During the search, officers found a room hidden behind a wall. Further searches revealed several men in the room engaging in gambling activities. The owner of the premises, along with the 20 men, was arrested by officers. The owner is expected to be charged with the offences of operating a common house and selling intoxicating liquor, while the men are expected to be charged with the offence of assembling to gamble. Trinidad and Tobago currency amounting to over $10,000, along with several bottles of alcohol, were also seized during the exercise. Investigations are ongoing. Recapping the headlines, the stepfather allegedly confesses in disappearance and murder of 2-year-old Angelo Plaza. The government proposes new parole system focused on rehabilitation and reducing repeat offending. Body of Las Lomas man found after distress call reporting brutal attack. Well, this is where we leave you for now. On behalf of the entire news team, I am Micah Dume. Thank you for joining us.